Hey everybody, today I'm starting a new series talking about all the games that I've acquired from month to month, just to give you a heads up of what to expect in terms of content, reviews, etc. and just the kind of things that I'm looking for. So first off, Tinner's Trail by Martin Wallace. So I didn't buy this one this month. This was a Kickstarter that's just been fulfilled. This is a re-implementation of a classic game of the same title. I think there's some minor differences between this version and the older one, so the main one being the artwork, etc. This is a game where we're trying to auction for mines in Cornwall, and then you're trying to extract the metal, the tin and copper from those mines to sell it for as much profit as possible. I've actually played this one already, and we'll be dropping my thoughts soon, so keep an eye out for that one in the next coming days. But spoiler alert, I've got some real positive things to say about Tinner's Trail. Now for something completely different with trap words. So trap words, despite me really enjoying heavy Euro games, actually I'm a big fan of party games as well. And this one is a bit of a twist on the classic kind of word association style games, but this one you're working in teams. You are trying to help your teammates get to a certain word by giving clues. However, the opponent team have written a bunch of words down which you are not allowed to say, and as soon as you say that word to give a clue, then you are going to lose the round. So I really like the concept of that one. Again, I've played it already and will be sharing my thoughts soon. Next up, I have Taj Mahal. So this is one of the classic Reiner Knizia games. I love Reiner Knizia. I've never ever played Taj Mahal, so it's one of those games that's just kind of eluded me. This one, as you can see, is the older Rio Grande version and not the newer ones. I think it was, I'm not sure it was Grail Games who printed the new one, but this one has a bit more of a throwback look to it. I can't really testify too much about the gameplay's like, but I know it's got a hell of a reputation, and hopefully it's going to be as good as a lot of other Knizia titles, because I really do enjoy Reiner Knizia designs. So that is Taj Mahal. Next up, I have another party game. This one is one that actually really intrigued me when it first came out. This is First Contact. So this is kind of a deduction and limited communication style game where you are trying to, one kind of half of the table is aliens and one is like humans, and you're trying to communicate with each other and trying to decipher which symbols could potentially mean other things in the English language. Very weird. I think it's slightly more thinky than a lot of your other party games, but those are the kind of party games that really intrigue me. And I think the concept of this one is fascinating. Probably not the easiest game to explain, but I'll be obviously doing a review of it soon. And I think this one's got a lot of potential for me to enjoy. So that is First Contact. I think the artwork is a bit polarizing, but I don't mind it too much. Now we've got some heavy hitters here. So we have Spirit Island. So Spirit Island has actually been a game I've wanted to play for a long time. One of the most highly regarded cooperative games out there, very Euro style game, and pretty heavy. A lot of things going on as we're taking control of these spirits, trying to fight off these colonists, I suppose, who are coming in to try and set up a colony in our land, and we're going to use these unique player powers to try and get them away to leave us in peace. There's not been enough. Well, there's been so much positive buzz about this game for years and years now, and it's regarded as one of the best games of all time. Quite heavy, so it's going to be a bit of a rules bear for me to learn this one to get to the table ASAP. But really looking forward to it, and it's got to be good if it's got this much hype. So yeah, excited to try Spirit Island at last. Next up, Cartagena. This is kind of a semi-classic, very simple entry-level game by Leo Calvini. This is a kind of a point-to-point movement style game. You're trying to race through this prison to get your people out before the other players. So it's a racing style game with some simple card play. The reason I got this one, number one, I got it for an absolute bargain price, but I always find myself when I'm playing really light games, I'm always going to the same kind of games again and again, where maybe Cartagena will be something a bit different. And I've not got massively high hopes, but who knows? Sometimes games that don't read too well in terms of the rule books, etc., are hits. So yeah, I'll give Cartagena a try. At least give it the benefit of the doubt. So that is Cartagena. Next up, a game that not many people know about. This is Garum. Garum. This is an abstract kind of area control style game as we're trying to place these tiles out to try and control these rows and columns like so. So it looks pretty bland here, and it's a game actually about making this kind of fish sauce. So I'm not sure how many people this is going to appeal to, but I think it's quite funny. So yeah, you've laid these tiles out, trying to control these rows and columns. Pretty dry, but another bargain I got from the kind of Facebook marketplace. And I remember this one coming out and I was really up for giving it a try, but I just didn't really get around to trying it. But now when it came up for sale at a good price, I thought, why not? I'll pick it up because who knows, it could be a gem. So that is Garum. Next up, I have an expansion for one of the best games I played in the last few months, Keyflower. This is Keyflower, The Merchants. So this adds a lot more tiles, etc., and things you can go for just to add more replayability, etc. I really was massively impressed by Keyflower. I think it's a great game, and I think a lot of this material kind of slides in seamlessly, so you don't have to have too much of a rules bear in terms of making the game more complex or fiddly. So that's the kind of expansions I like, and yeah, so really excited to try new material for Keyflower, which has quickly become one of my favourite games. So yeah, that is Keyflower, The Merchants. And now I've got another massive hit. This is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. So I've actually never ever played Gloomhaven, so it's kind of a confession there. I know it is the #1 board game of all time. I think the main reason for that was because the obstacles to entry, or the barriers to entry, I don't get a lot of time to play, or I don't get half as much time as I would like to play games. And when it's a campaign style game like Gloomhaven, it's just an obstacle for me because I know I'm just not going to get to enjoy the full, or do kind of a deep dive in the campaign as I would like. But this one, I kind of hold your hand through setting it up. It's a lot more a way to walk you through the game and introduce rules simply as you're playing through these kind of dungeons, and represented by this book. You've got a lot of things going on here. I'm not quite sure how the game plays because I've actually never really done a deep dive into it and had a look about how the game plays. But a bit like Spirit Island, when the reputation of a game is so good, then it's worth giving it a go. And I feel like I need to try Gloomhaven just for the experience. So not normally the kind of thing I'd go for, but nonetheless, I'm really excited to finally get Gloomhaven to the table. And in addition to those other titles, I actually managed to buy a job lot of old Atari games. We've got some titles here that I've been after for a long time, particularly this one, Mirmies, I think it's pronounced. This is a game, an area control style game about being ants. Absolutely fascinated by the concept of this game. Looks really cool, and I know a lot of these games are really hard to obtain nowadays. And these are the kind of titles that really excite me, and I love trying games that these have a somewhat of a throwback feel to them. Maybe a lot of people aren't really looking forward to seeing this kind of content, but I love talking about these style games because there's often gems here, and while they often look dry and dusty and boring, there's often some really fun mechanisms here. So this is all your traditional, really boring looking Euro stuff, which I love. So we've got Scylla here, again we've got Mirmies. We've got Metropolis, which is actually a game I don't really know anything about, but I'm so intrigued by this kind of art style and this throwback, dry, dusty Euro. We've got Ys here, which I think that's how pronounced. Look at this cover that's got to be one of the best covers I've ever seen. But despite them looking dry and dusty, the actual boards and things and the actual mechanisms look absolutely fascinating. And yeah, who knows? There could be something here that's going to be a gangfire hit. So we've got Ispahan here. Look at these covers. They're such a throwback about building a little city there, that one looks like. We've got Amiitis, which is a game I've been looking at for a while, actually. They're all kind of more, again, throwback area control style games. And finally, we've got Mykarinos there. It's about kind of, I suppose, excavating a tomb or something. So really excited to try these ones. As I said, I'm sure a lot of people aren't looking forward to reviews, etc. But maybe that's what differentiates my channel from a lot of the others out there. I like to play old games as much as I like to play new games. So yeah, that concludes this video. I hope it gives you a heads up about what's coming. And I'll make another one of these next month. And hopefully I haven't built as much. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.